And that's recording. David, how do you punctuate walking into a room?
How do I punctuate it?
Yes.
Oh, well, like the fonts.
You've got
Well,
my
okay,
dad...
this is very interesting because a friend of the show and friend of you and I, Sam Michael, sent me a message saying,
Ooh!
next time I see you, I've got an impression of how you walk into a green room. Meaning me. Which must have... oh, James just blowing their nose there.
Excuse me.
Get all of the
It's big enough.
cocaine residue out of there.
Oh!
We haven't got cocaine. Is Pepsi cane okay? That's a joke I wrote the other day. I don't know if has that ever been done? Is that a thing?
I would say, David, that's never been done. Tell you what, I think you might be the first person who's ever noticed Coca-Cola.
Have you ever seen this?
Cocaine.
Have you seen this? Have you read this?
Have you sniffed this?
Oh, I love punctuating walking through. My well, the thing is, I used to punctuate other people walking into a room because I was I worked behind a bar, right? So the actual landlord, when anybody walked in, would go, "Here he is," and I really picked that up. And I've probably said that to you quite a lot. But I'm like, oi! I do like an oi oi.
Oi oi is
like
good.
Tires. James is just playing a game of smack the microphone around.
I've been quite cautious that my mic has sounded quite tiddly the last couple of times we've recorded because I've been too far away. So
You've been hanging out with the tiddly peeps.
Yes.
From the hoops.
From the hoops.
We're off to see the tiddly peeps. On the road we go.
It's 5 a.m. Your parents
Do you know where your tiddly peeps are? James and I did a little tech test before we started, and James got to watch me eat falafel in pitta despite having misophonia. So I basically put them through torture.
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
But this tape is oddly visible, isn't it? Can you tell that I've recently got meds but not taken them?
Tape.
So I went to... There's a... Hang on. Let's just both hold tape. Oh, have I got more tape? Fuck you. Look at all this tape. No, my tape measure is somewhere else to measure my bed.
That's the end of that. My dad used to walk in a room, whatever the room was, and he would go, right, or so, and it could be the room with all the planes in the Science Museum, still making the same noises.
That's an amazing way to punctuate going into a room.
Yeah.
Oh no, you've got that thought, and then I've got this thought. This is going to be tight. This one, I think.
This is David is incorrectly
unmedicated. We'll get on to that. So I went to ITE Ep32, which is a chain of falafel places in Bristol, and so you might go to a takeaway or a restaurant. They might have specials. They might have guest food, like specials for the day or anything, on cardboard laminated signs that looked like semi-permanent. They had a list of the sauces being like hot chili, green chili, tahini, tomato and coriander sauce, and then guest sauce. What could it be?
Barbecue.
Tzatziki.
Oh. That should be a guest.
Like...
residency. I like that. That's got Brexit written all over it.
It really threw me for a loop. It's just like, we've got a very special guest for you today. Is that Tzatziki?
That's no good.
When I went to see Dizzy Rascals at
Dizzy Rascals
at Reading Music Festival, and earlier that summer he'd played Glastonbury and he'd brought out Calvin Harris and everyone to sing do 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 And at Reading, he was about to play it quite obviously. And he's like, I'm going to bring out a special guest. And everyone was like, oh, fuck. And then he was like, it's Labyrinth. And everyone was like, yeah. I mean, fine.
Great. I love this movie.
The guy, David, his testicles just wandered out.
You will never find your baby.
I don't know how to walk upstairs.
You know, so when he's got the 3 crystal contact juggling balls, you know that's not his hand.
Yes, I do, because arguably the making of Dark Crystal and the making of Labyrinth are better than either film.
The Apocalypse Now of the Now generation.
Oh, like Heart of Darkness, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many loops do we need to close up before we start the show? Walking into a room, punctuated, right? Yeah. Great, done. Falafel Tatsiki.
We both have gigs like tonight.
Labyrinth. Shut up. Testicles, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal. I think we're ready to begin episode 32 of this here. Is This Enough? Is This Enough? With James O'Donoghue and David Hoare.
And as the clock at Westminster Palace strikes 10, the polls have officially closed, and we can officially reveal that our prediction for the results of the general election is that we are officially predicting fun, silliness, and the occasional bout of ennui are going to form a coalition government. And welcome to Is This Enough? The excellent and brilliant game show podcast that is both excellent and brilliant. My name is James O'Donoghue. I'm going to give that another go because I don't know what happened.
That's how 2 L's at the beginning.
That was like a cartoon. That was like a cartoon baby presenting. My name is James O'Donoghue, and I'm a big stupid poo-poo head. My name is James O'Donoghue, and with me, as always, is David Hoare. We've come up with 3 rounds each. Neither of us knows what the other one has prepared. This week is, of course, Instrumental Health Week on Is This Enough? David, how is your banjo string?
Sore, tight, but well lubricated.
I, of course, do not have one because I can't play the banjo, and I am, of course, a Jew. There is all to play for this week because there's a prize for the winner and a forfeit for the loser. Last week, David won and was given massive shoulders. David, how has your osteopath enjoyed those?
As we'll thoroughly get onto in the How Are You section. It turns out Davey Hoare don't suit big shoulders.
Oh, no. I lost and was given massive knees, and I've enjoyed finding more excuses to not go for a morning run. But
do you reckon that next week you'll get massive nephews as well?
This guy's making jokes about jokes he made over 2 weeks ago.
David, self-indulgent. It's David Hoare.
David, all that smooth. That's
a visual gag for fans of the podcast and peanut butter.
Well, David, the prizes this week are very exciting once more because once more they are not presented by me. They are presented by Britain's first Prime Minister and now returning series regular. It's Robert Walpole. Hello, boys.
Hello,
it's me. The first Prime Minister, Robert Walpole. And I have election fever, boys. is election fever. My ghost still haunts the grounds of old Westminster Palace. I like sniffing the feet of the new intake of MPs after the election. And let me tell you, I, for one, am hoping for a rump parliament. The prizes this week are... If you win, you are given the red pill so you could wake up from the matrix. But if you lose, you're given the brown pill that makes you shit yourself. Goodbye, boys. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Robert Warple. Farewell.
What a guy.
What a guy. What a cape.
What a
What a
cape.
parliament.
What?
The first one as well. Like, can you imagine being the first?
I
at
know.
Anything.
Robert Walpole, of course, they're appointed because he could translate King George I's German because he couldn't speak any English. And with that fascinating bit of trivia out the way, David,
Yeah.
it's over to you.
Round one.
James O'Donoghue. Round one is called General Storage. Just giving James a moment to take in the sights, sounds, and smells of the title of this round. For the uninitiated, James used to work in storage. But will that help them today?
You will need insurance. You will need insurance on that.
You will need insurance. James, I'm simply going to tell you the name of an IKEA product, and you simply must tell me what that product is. James, are you any good at making IKEA furniture?
I fucking love it, mate.
It's like Lego for adults if Lego wasn't already for adults.
Yeah, and if you could break Lego really easily. Have you ever gotten some IKEA furniture from before 2005?
What? Why was it better then?
It was way better. It was way none of this fucking chipboard bullshit. No, solid plank of wood there. Good stuff.
Well, I must have done, but I guess my IKEA making days were past 2005. But I definitely must have been involved in some variety of. The first time I ever got lost was in IKEA because it was like a big loop and I got lost in it. And my parents were like seconds away from doing an announcement over the big tannoy to find out where I was. And all I'd done was walk around the shop, but it turns out IKEA was fucking massive. James, this is for 1,943 points a question.
I'm intrigued.
1943 was the year that IKEA was founded. Nothing else important going on at that point. So let's make some flat pack furniture.
They used to run on prison labor for quite a while into the 70s and 80s.
Aye, IKEA. Okay, James, I'm going to tell you the name. We all know that IKEA has some names for their products that may or may... Are they Swedish? Or are they...
David, before we get started, I just wanted to...
You've gone fucking GB News. Sorry.
David,
LBC over here.
have you noticed that we've actually got the first flat pack politician in IKEA Starmer?
Brilliant joke there, James. Let's get on with.
I think his manifesto writer require a little bit of assembly.
Not to dwell too much on anything other than this fantastic quiz, but after the debates, which happened just a few days ago, it was postulated that Rishi Sunak lied about the tax stuff in the debates. And there was headlines being like, Labour didn't know that Rishi Sunak would lie. And I'm like, how incompetent are you going to be if you don't know that they're going to lie? Like, that's all they're going to do. Anyway, James, I'm going to tell you some...
You can't lie to me. That's illegal.
You'll make her a very naughty boy. James, I'm going to tell you the name of an IKEA product, and you simply must. You simply must tell me.
Simply must.
What the product is. Question number 1. Kallax.
Kallax. Kallax is a big square shelf thing. It arrives as squares. Do. Put your things in the squares.
You can put Darude by Sandstorm in there.
Yes.
James, that is 100% correct. You got yourself 1943 points there. Well done, you. That puts you in the lead. James, question number 2, or maybe not because I just exited out of my questions. This is live bullshit.
Question
from
number
James
2.
O'Donoghue.
Do you accept the terms and conditions of Apple PLC?
James, question number 2. Scub.
Scub. Ooh.
Scub. What is Scub?
Scub.
You went into IKEA and I'll have Scub, please. What are they going to hand you?
Then they'll say, "Oh, sorry, sir, but the pharmacy is over the road." Of course, it wouldn't be over the road. That's a dual carriageway. It's an industrial estate. There wouldn't be a pharmacy there. I would say that a scub is a kitchen utensil.
Then you would be wrong. It is, in fact, a drawer divider for a chest of drawers.
Oh,
Scub there. Scubbering your chances to get more points.
no.
I feel like we're on form today. Question number 3. Smacker.
Smacker. That is in
With an umlaut over an A.
Okay. Smacker. I barely believe that it is something that you could find in the snacks section. I think it's some sort of delicious biscuit.
Oh, there is snacks at IKEA, isn't there?
Yeah.
Smack around your chops. James, I'm very sorry, but that is in fact cutlery tray.
Oh.
They also have Smacker My Bitch Up, which is a cutlery tray for dogs. Question number 4. Veraria.
Ferraria.
Veraria.
Okay, that is a long. I'm guessing a long, thin cupboard.
I'm going to give you that. It's a pull-out container for a cupboard. It's a pull-out container, which is the preferred container for the Catholic Church.
Hey!
That gives you another 1943 points there. And final question for you today, James. Meatballs.
Meatballs.
What are meatballs in IKEA?
What are meatballs? 90% Dalmatian.
James, unfortunately, that is the name of the IKEA rocking horse. At the end of that round, you have a casual 3,886 points. I think this is going to be a good one, James. It's over to you for round DOS.
Round 2.
David, round 2 is called Election Fever. David, this is, of course, election time at time of recording, and the polls are looking tight. That's because I'm looking at some correctly erected scaffolding. Good job. In reality, it's very likely that we're going to have a change of government. And as someone who lives in a democracy, I, for one, am very excited to hear that. I love democracy. On July the 4th, 2024, I will be spoiling my ballot by taking it to dinner, by showing it a night of the town. I won't be leaving an X next to my preferred candidate. Kiss by their name. I love voting. So, David, here are some election facts. But are they election fiction? I need you to tell me. All of this are worth 505 points. Why? Because...
That's your favourite Arctic Monkey song?
No, that was a full stop. Why? Because... So, is it true or false? History's largest election was in the last week.
India?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
David, you've got yourself 505 points.
I'm going to say this week I've listened to the news 3 times and that came up once.
Well,
and I'm just about good enough at geography. We all know I'm shit at geography to know that India has a large population.
it's massive. Question number 2.
It's bigger than that, Chris. It's large. Carry on.
History's largest erection was last week.
You've been spying on me. Come on now.
Hey!
Come on, Peloton. We'll get you kicked out of the Tour de France. So. Yeah, true.
True. That is, of course, true. It was me seeing the election because I love democracy. David,
James,
history's...
we got that. We found out about the election during the show.
Yes.
And you had the world's biggest your microphone did fall over at one point.
David.
It's going to be an election.
Visual gags on an audio medium. David, history's largest selection was last week.
Oh, a fine selection of tray bakes.
I will give you that one, David. It is, of course, the selection in UGC's Cinema's pick and mix section. Everything you could want. Lemon sherbet, Liberal Democrat, Straubs, Labour, flying saucers, Conservative and Unionist Party, and actual cubes of human piss, Reform UK. So, David, I'm going to give you...
Not banana milkshake. Get me on Have I Got News 5U.
It should have been piss. David, the largest landslide in the UK's elections was in 1997 when Tony Blair won.
I remember it well. Do you remember it?
No, I was but a small babe.
Okay, it was the first election I remember. Because 1992 I was 3, so I'm going to say yes.
Yes, David, of course.
Yeah.
That was in 1997. I'm going to give you 505 points. And finally, what is a Portillo moment?
I watched Portillo himself talk about Portillo moments, and it was very weird. I also once got on a train where Michael Portillo was also getting on the train, and I was like, there was no camera crew following him, and I was like, he just fucking does it for the fucking...
And in a way, that was your Portillo moment, and I'm going to give you the points for that. Well done.
A Portillo moment was completely unpredicted loss of a seat.
Yes, and also when he gets on a train. The train to Loser Town! You're a loser, Portillo! A loser!
Because the news was saying that they're predicting some Portillo moments, and he's like, you can't predict a Portillo moment because a Portillo moment is unpredictable.
Yes. Well, David, at the end of that, the polls are tight now. And I'm not just talking about the lads doing a sterling job on that roof extension next door. Sterling work there. At the end of that round, I have 3,886 points, whereas you are hot on my tail with 2,525 points. There really is all to play for as we crash, slalom and slide right into round number 3. Round 3 coming up right here.
Round 3.
James, not only is it Instrumental Health Week, but it's also Glenn Close Health Week.
Okay.
Have we got any updates on how well Glenn Close is doing?
The condition I've been told is critical. Whether she will be able to be present for the Trooping of the Colour celebrations in a couple of weeks is up to chance at this point. But
that's incorrect, James. She's 77 and she's fucking smashing life.
Okay.
She also, according to her Wikipedia page, describes herself as spiritual but irreligious, which I've never heard of before, but does sound delicious. What are we having for pudding? Irreligious. James, round 3 is the traditionally named How are you, James? James, how are you, James?
Yeah, doing all right. I have...
Those of you watching the video feed can see James has a slight glow.
A slight glow.
Sun.
Yes, here's the thing.
Well, he is now a father.
Yes. And here's my boy Oh no. I'm very good.
Huh?
I'm very good. This is probably
Okay,
being
good.
released slightly later than scheduled, but that's because I was on a lovely holiday. A lovely
Mm.
holiday to the west coast of Ireland. I went out to Galway and then the Aran Islands, and it was fucking great.
Oh,
So
I'm
the
gonna look
maze,
up where those are because I have shit geography. Galway.
you got to
Lovely. Carry
go, a
on.
lot of go going that way.
Lot of Gaul. You've had the West Island.
It's also local election time over in Ireland, and when they are having an election, they have posters with everyone's faces,
Oh yeah.
all the candidates' faces, and it means you're going down the motorway, and there's just loads of politicians with a politician doing a smart smile at camera face. So you're going down, and everyone's going,
At this angle.
and then there's the odd person who doesn't know how to do it, and that's always fun. That's always fun. So yeah, it was great. I got
It's the man with
sunburned.
the dogs. The man with the
That's
dogs.
Michael D. Higgins, the president of
See the
Ireland.
president. And does
Yes.
he get voted for?
Yes. They have an elected head of state as well as elected head of government. So their Taoiseach or prime minister is the person with the actual kind of governmental power. And their president is kind of like our royal family. They're there for ceremonial and kind of
Yeah.
statehood.
Because a lot of people say we should keep our royal family because we'd have to elect a head of state and that might be awful. But all I've ever seen is that guy with his dogs, and his dogs are just like, I don't care that you're chatting to Barack Obama or somebody else very important. I need belly rubs immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Real hand lickers. So yeah, that was lovely. I went out into the sea. I felt very relaxed, and I've undone all of that good work because I came home, and my partner is still out there because her mum's living out there, and she sent me a text saying, "What are you up to?" And when we're playing video games, we'll describe it as being, "I'm being a tiny soldier. I'm being a tiny Batman," and I was playing the game Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I replied, I'm a tiny Jedi. And then the next message being in my pants, because I was in my pants playing PlayStation as the Lord intended. However, I didn't send that to my girlfriend. I sent that to the other person who I was talking to there and then.
Boss.
Who's my boss? So my boss, apropos of nothing, got two messages that said,
I don't want to listen to this anymore. This makes me unhappy.
I'm a tiny Jedi in my pants.
Well, I know you don't want your job anymore. That's quite a fun way of getting rid of it.
What an amazing way to get fired. What an amazing...
Are you still employed?
Yeah?
Did you delete it?
Yeah. But they saw it. Green ticks all around. Blue ticks. Blue ticks all around.
I had that recently where I messaged my girlfriend because I've had some back issues, which we'll get onto, where I put, can you massage my back with the gun when you get home from work? But didn't send that to my girlfriend, sent it to the owner of the bar that I run Chops Comedy at.
Oh. I'm sure he'd be happy to.
Think I managed to delete it before he saw it, but we'll never know.
Ah. So yeah. All of that good work down the fucking drain.
Well, if it's any consolation, you are my absolute fucking hero. I love that you sent that. If you maintain your job without this ever being brought up ever, that's going to be amazing. if you lose your job because of it, that's pretty good because you don't want your job anymore. I see this as a win-win-win.
I'd rather they fire me. I don't want to look
Well, then
at.
there you go.
I don't want to look at this geezer's face, knowing that I'm a tiny Jedi
In my pants. At least you didn't put double-ended lightsaber. Anyway, so
Oh, dual wield. That's right. I've got 2 penises.
well, James, as you've done that, unless you have anything else you need to tell me.
No. Other than
Well, James,
I'm a tiny Jedi.
to commemorate how well you're doing, I'm giving you 900 points, which was the age of Yoda when he died, the tiny Jedi.
And he was in his pants.
Yeah, he was. Somebody pointed out to me that there's a bit where Luke is asking him lots of questions and he just decides to die rather than answer them. And it's the best version of like what being a parent is, where your child is just asking you questions. You're like, I'd rather just fall
die.
asleep and lie down and not. Although next time you watch that, just look at the way Yoda's ear, when he dies, his ear just gets folded up, crunkled up against his face. It's really upsetting
Oh,
because the puppet clearly just got folded.
his cartilage just gave
Yeah.
out.
I mean, he died anyway. So anyway,
His cartilage had gone by that point. It was just the Force keeping it going.
James, at the end of that round, you have 4,786 points.
My.
Tis but over to you.
Round 4.
David, round 4 is called How Are You?
Didn't like that.
Imagine
Didn't
that.
like that.
Imagine that. Can you imagine dragons? Imagine dragons.
Imagine dragons with radioactive blood.
Imagine that. I can.
James, I'm all right. I just before this, I ran out of medication yesterday, having had 2 days without it earlier in the week, so I saved 2. Went to there's a global shortage, as previously mentioned. The day after I worked out what dosage I needed for my ADHD medication, my girlfriend and my mum both individually rang me to say that there was a global ADHD medication shortage, which has made getting hold of it very difficult. I went to 9, I think, pharmacies trying to find it, including return visits to several of them. And the last one I went to yesterday, the guy went, "No, we can't get this." And I could have just left. But I went, "Do you know when they might be able to get hold of it?" And he went, I had a little chat with him. And by the end of the chat, he was like, "You know what? I'm going to message somebody that works at a different store and see if I can get some sent over here for you."
Do you know,
And he
for
managed to do
answering
that.
my riddles 3,
Yeah.
I shall
And he
dare
went-
it to you to have some dopamine.
Severely out of his way to get some. And I just want to say thank you very much. It was a man called Ike, and he's fucking wonderful. And now I have medication. And I'm
Hey.
so happy about it. Other than that, I have been both up and down, much like the Venga Boys. Are the Venga Boys something that you hold any nostalgia for, or was it not really your time?
Ask not for whom the Venga bus comes. It comes for thee. Yeah, why not?
What year was the Venga Boys?
Oh, they
Venga
spanned many.
bus.
They are eternal and forever.
What year was it? 1998. How old were you?
4.
Oh, perfect. Perfect age for the Venga bus.
That's
What
Hey.
the Venga bus is coming? That's my impression of James as a child.
you're still eligible for free travel on the Venga bus at that age.
The wheels on the Venga bus go up and down.
Of course, I
Yeah.
remember when Margaret Thatcher first privatized the Venga bus. A man in his 30s still using the Venga bus could count
Blimey.
themselves.
Anyway, so I did a charity gig for Talk Club, the men's mental health charity, which I was a bit worried about. But it turns out if somebody takes care of the charity side of it, I can just run a gig, and it went really well. Tom
Hey!
Rosenthal was there, and that was
Oh.
good. Nick Page was there, And Alistair Wallace and Jessica Lowe and Beth and Martin, all that smashed.
That is a stacked lineup.
It was fucking rad.
Is that line
so
up
that was good.
pancakes? Because that's a fat stack.
And I think it makes me a good person that does something good, I think.
David, of course, this is Men's Mental Health Month.
No, that was May. It was last week.
Oh, then why am I seeing loads of right-wing chuds on online going, it's not Pride Month, it's Men's Mental Health Month?
Because they're fucking idiots.
They are fucking idiots.
I did. I also went and saw my friend's band Nubian Twist at Bristol Beacon, which was fucking fantastic. We went to a barbecue in the afternoon before he went, and by the time we got home, my girlfriend was too tired to go, so I had a spare ticket. Rang around a few people, ended up taking Ted, the doorman from Chops, who had the best fucking time of his life.
And you were there, stocked up with burgers, going, ha 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 ha.
It was good, yeah. So that was lovely. And get this, James. I had my first not shit gig in Swansea. Swansea is no longer undefeated in my comedy career.
Hey.
I had what I would describe as a 6.5 out of 10 gig.
That's great. No, that is good.
In Swansea. I came off stage and the person that was on after me was Hilary Morgan. And I came up and she was like, good work. And I was like, that was the best gig I've ever had in Swansea. And she went, why? Why does Swansea hate you?
I did a gig in Swansea and I had a great time. It was a really cracking gig and it was like a very like boisterous Welsh crowd and I found their level and had a great time.
Nice.
And then as I left, this old Welsh woman went up to my face as I was getting like huge round of applause. And she went up to my face and went, boo! Boo! What is this saying?
Was she from the 1920s? Too much swearing.
Too much swearing.
Fucking amazing. That's great. That's the sort of thing where like them being negative about it is another bonus.
Mm.
But yeah, so in amongst all of that, post Fox deterrent, which you can hear about in previous episodes, I did a stretch and my whole back went. I don't know if I mentioned that because of all the stress. And then I managed to keep it at bay for like a week, and then it got way worse. And it turns out that it wasn't just physical pain, but there was a lot of stress and emotion inside my back.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I had all the stress of the Fox deterrent, trying to run these like charity shows and all this sort of shit. And then yeah, it was getting worse. This time of year is around the sort of time where my dad got very ill before he died. And so there's quite a lot of associations and reminders this time of year. Coming up in the next few weeks, we have Father's Day, the anniversary of his death. And then at the end of August, we've got his birthday and my parents' wedding anniversary. And it's like a bang, 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 bang. And I thought I was doing quite well this year emotionally. And then all of a sudden I was like this. And what I realized was I was holding on to the idea of doing well emotionally and not letting stuff out. And so I'd been to the osteopath and got my back freed up physically. I'd had therapy and I mentioned this to my therapist and she was like, you might need to let a bunch of this go. And so I went and had a big old cry and I feel so much better. And I'd completely forgotten how much you need to grieve and how much grieving actually is not just good for you mentally, but literally physically. My back can move now because I let it all out. Well, you've got like 1,000-mile stare.
That was my a lot of my experience from the first days of drama school. Is as you learn how to use a lot more of your body and also relax it, That's where all your grief gets caught in your bones.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. So I've done a lot of nice things, but I was in a bunch of pain, and I didn't realize that I was just like holding everything, but I was balling up, but not here, just here in my shoulder. And then I let it all out, and then I was like, whoa, I can move my head all the way around here again now. That's so exciting. What's that noise?
That's an angle grinder. I just do a bit. Let's do a bit of angle grinding off camera sometimes when you're going on a bit.
Going on about your dead dad, are you?
I saw that he's fucking dead dad. Hey, save that for Edinburgh.
So that's how I am.
Well, David, for being lovely and emotionally honest with your crowd in Swansea, I'm going to give you 246,217 points, which is the population of Swansea. Also, just before that, a last word on Swansea. A friend of mine is in a theatre tour, and they were just a couple of weeks ago in Dubai, and their next stop after Dubai was Swansea, where they've gone from where the richest person in Dubai might be the richest person in the world. The richest person in Swansea is Russell T Davies, just walking about with his Disney money. Don't know if you've seen any of the new Doctor Who. It's very low budget, but Russell T Davies is walking about wearing a suit made of solid gold.
He's still in charge.
They brought him back.
I get confused between all the different ones because I know there's ones that some fans like, and I know there's ones that like. What's the one that did Doctor Who and Sherlock?
That was Stephen Moffat, who some fans liked. Then he took over, and then they went, "Boo! Give it to someone else." They give it to someone else, and they went, "Boo! This sucks." I wish Russell T Davies would take it over. Russell T Davies took back over, and now people are going, "Boo! It's too political and woke." And it just goes to show you that there's no fucking pleasing people. But you've left me very pleased by being wonderfully emotionally open. Thank you very much, David. And that brings us to
round 5.
James, you got a bit of smooth, seamless podcasting there, and for that you get another cracking 10 points.
Oh, big spender!
Fucking seamless. James, round 5 is called car horn or car horn. Some people claim these rounds are very well thought out. Well, we're going to show them by playing a quick round of car horn or cajon. Are you having an earthquake? Why is your character? I will play you a sound, and you simply must tell me if it is a horn that sounds from a car, or a cajon, one of those wooden boxes that drummers sit on at an acoustic open mic night, wishing they were literally anywhere else. Sit on that box and play Ed Sheeran, you fuck.
Can I just say, there was a duo in Aberystwyth when I lived there that used to go to all the open mic nights to do a medley of basically like acoustic versions of songs that were in the charts. And one of them would sit on one of those boxes, a cajon. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever hated anyone more.
I mean, this could get wildly off topic from car horn or cajon, which I know everybody wants to talk about, but I could talk about music open mic nights for days. I've been to literally hundreds of them. At one point, I was generating a bingo card. I think I wrote it down recently. Of like,
that could be official merch.
What you might see at an open mic night.
That could be official David Hoare merch.
Oh, here's one. Okay, I wrote it down, but I don't know. You got good at guitar but bad at singing. Good at singing but bad at guitar. Good at singing and guitar. Or bad at singing and guitar. You've then got woman. Then you've got person who thinks they will get famous by singing Ed Sheeran songs or the medley of everything. You've got the person that talks to everyone else but is annoyed that you're talking through their sets. You've got keyboard. You've got keyboard but sane. You've got keyboard but mental. You've got guitarist playing along to backing tracks. I'd also charitably give you father-son combo. Or husband-wife combo where the wife sort of just dances.
Yeah. No, exactly that one.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole array. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Today we're here to play an exciting round of Cajon or Cajon. James, I am so sure of the high level of difficulty of this round that this is for, that's right, 1 trillion points a question.
Whoa!
Nobody knows how many zeros are in a trillion. So we'll see how we get on. James, are you excited to play a fun round of Cajon or Cajon?
I would wager I am.
James, this is for 1 trillion points a question. Is this a Cajon or a Cajon?
That's a cajon.
Correct.
1 second. There's a pigeon on that. Yeah, you get the fuck off my balcony. Sorry. That was I'm very protective of my seedlings.
Is that what you call your balcony?
Yes.
Or was that your boy? It's
my
your boy.
boy. Can I just say, there's a line from The Dark Knight Rises that has been in my head for now 12 years.
Yeah.
And that's the way that Bane says, my boy, because he's reading a letter written by Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
It says, Harvey Dent wasn't a hero. He kidnapped my boy.
Mm.
But the way he reads it is, Harvey Dent wasn't a hero. He kidnapped my boy.
I sort of think about it in the Harry Potter. My boy!
My boy!
But yeah.
I'm rolling with the boys.
My boys are back in town. James, stop distracting us from the exciting round of Cajon or Cajon. James, question number 2. Is this a Cajon or Cajon?
That's a Cajon.
Correct. I feel like you're not giving this the gravitas that it deserves.
Right. Next one. I promise.
Question number 3. Cajon or Cajon?
Could it be a Model T Ford? Could it be? I'm going to go for Cajon.
No, James, it's a Cajon.
My hubris.
One of the old ones, you know? You fucking idiot. All right. James, question number 4. Cajon or Cajon? Okay.
Is that a Cajon doing Blue Monday?
Oh. No, James. Unfortunately, that was a car horn being used as a car horn. You get no points there.
Oh, no! I've been bamboozled.
You've been had. Question number 5. This is the final. This is the last time you'll ever get to play car horn or cajon. For now, I'm
sequel.
smelling a weekly feature.
And Robert apologizes for that.
Hello, boys.
Sorry, boys.
Come on. I've been usurped by a greater round. James, it's cajon or cajon.
That cajon is too loud. I want to speak to your manager.
That's a caron.
Correct. That's another trillion points for you.
I like that this person going, cajon is too loud. This cajon is too loud.
That cajon is too loud. I want to speak to your manager.
What a round. What a round.
James, all I can really say, two things there is number one, you're welcome. And number two,
Whoa.
it's you're on 3,004,796 points. It's
Yes.
over to you
Oh.
for round 6.
Round 6.
Well, David, it's not over to me. It's, of course, over to our special guest. Once more, a returning champion. I'm going to go and just usher him in from the nether space right now. So, David, it's goodbye from me, but it's hello to our guest over here. Hello, boys! It's me, Michael Holmeal, Grand Dam of the amateur stage. I've directed the ball from Cat on a Hot Tin Tomato to Hamilton Tomatoes.
I've never seen your face before.
No,
Michael Holmwell.
it's
I have to
alarming.
say, it's lovely. Have you got a sailor tattoo where there should be a teardrop tattoo?
Yes.
I like how some of your tattoos are on your skin and some of them are on your jacket, Michael.
Yes, of course. A terrible waste of ink.
What does it say at the bottom there? Fuck Michael.
Fuck Michael Billington. Theatre critic from The Guardian. He's a fiend. So I stole his face. David.
Yeah.
Of course, I've directed the ball from a Cat on a Hot Tinned Tomato to Hamilton Tomatoes. We staged both in an abandoned tomato canning factory. Can you imagine? Yes, I can, vividly. Why was it abandoned? Because of a series of horrific accidents that I bear no blame for, but full responsibility of, naturally. David! Amateur dramatics is such a wonderful pursuit, but not as wonderful as the pursuit of human flesh with which to make a skin suit. But I digress. Keep it light and keep it tight. Incidentally, also wonderful instructions for making a skin suit. But amateur dramatics, or if you may, am-dram, it's a really wonderful thing. So wonderful that some celebrities engage in a bit of am-dram. I've got some secret recordings of said celebrities treading the boards, and I want you to tell me, who are they and what play are they doing? Each correct answer will get you 1,576 points. Of course, 1576, the year that the first solely made theatre was built in London. So, David, here's question number one. Who is this celebrity? And what play are they in?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, to be or not to be. Really. I think interesting question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows, or outrageous fortune, or to take up arms and by opposing end them.
Who was that? They sounded like a little twerp.
Was it Rishi Sunak doing Hamlet?
It was not Rishi Sunak, but it was indeed Hamlet, so I'm going to give you 1576 points right there. Well done, David.
Who was it?
Da-da, like that. That was, of course, Rory Stewart. Rory the Tory, of course.
Okay, Michael.
Yes.
I did a gig in Cardiff last night.
No, Cardiff.
And and in Cardiff, there was a poster for, I think, the Motorpoint Arena, was it? Basically, Rory Stewart and
Alistair Campbell, the war
your
criminals.
friend of mine, Alistair Campbell, are on tour?
Yes, they're doing massive arenas where they just sit and go, aren't we sensible? Good for them.
They're on tour.
Yes.
They're doing.
Both of their daughters are far more successful comedians than you and that O'Donoghue freak.
Who was Roy Stewart's daughter a comedian?
I don't know that for sure. Probably. Let's look her up. My, it's Hannah Gatsby. Question number 2, David.
The human animal that speaks and dies, but the fact he's dying is given vision for others.
Who could that be? What are they doing?
Can I hear it one more time? I know who it is. I'm just trying to work out who it is. Oh.
Apparently you can't.
No
The
need
human
for
animal that speaks and dies, but the fact he's dying is given vision for others.
The human something or other something of others. It's Jules Holland,
Yes.
your friend and mine. Jules Holland. Is he doing Stomp?
He's not doing Stomp, I'm afraid. He's doing Cat on a Hot Tinned Roof.
Okay.
David, I'm giving you 1576 points there. Ah, yes, Jules Holland. Jules Holland by name, Jules Holland by nature, because he's incredibly flat when he sings. He also stinks of cannabis. Question number 3.
Stella.
It's Brian Eno's A Streetcar Called Desire.
A streetcar named Desire. Yes, David, I'm going to give you the full points for that. So that is 3,152 points there, David. I've never met a less talentless actor than Brian. I said to him, Brian, if you're going to waste my time, you could at least do it in a more entertaining way. He then played a waveform that caused me to lose my memories of my mother's face. I took his teeth for that. Gummy Brian. Question number 4.
3 little maids from school are we? Pert as a schoolgirl well can be. Filled to the brim with girlish glee. 3 little maids from school.
Who could that other menacing person be?
Is it Danny Dyer doing History Boys?
Oh, David, it's not Danny Dyer's History Boys. That would, of course, sound like this. History? It's one fucking thing after the other! Marvelous.
Boys?
Marvelous actor.
I've no idea then.
David, it is, of course... I should have looked up the name of this production. It is, of course, from Gilbert and Sullivan. That's Mad Frankie Fraser.
Oh, yeah. There was yeah. I don't know if I've seen that live. Which one is it? Is it
I'll search my memory banks. 3 little maids from school.
I'm assuming your memory banks are made of other
The
people.
Mikado, of course it was.
Ah, yes, the perfectly not racist Mikado.
And finally, and Tiny Tim, who did not die. Who and what?
Pavarotti's version of the Christmas Carol.
David, you spry gent. I'm giving you 3,552.
Thank you so much,
Well, David,
Michael. It's lovely to finally see your face. What's written on your shoulder there?
on my shoulder,
AEHT?
rent.
Oh, rent.
Official patches and merch from underground productions of plays I've been to. I've got Rent, Cats, Les Mis, Starlight Express, fuck Michael Billington. David, at the end of that round, I could see you have a keen eye for the dramatics, but I'd say you're far from amateur because you clearly hated that. And well, you should. The longer I speak to you, the more that I assess your weaknesses. Ta-ta! I will, of course, kill again.
Bye, Michael. It's lovely to see you.
Menace.
Oh, James,
Menace.
you just missed Michael Holmill.
Oh, I'm glad.
He seemed to have all of your skin on still, which means you didn't run into him.
Apart from the bit of my nose that's peeling. Anyway, David.
That wasn't him. That was the son. His son.
Oh.
Jeremy Holm.
Oh, Jeremy Holmill.
Oh, Jeremy Holm.
Well, David, to play us out, to tell us the final scores, it is, of course, back to
Cajon or Cajon? What? Oh, sorry, Robert Warple. Hello, Robert.
Hello, boys! What similar voices we're hearing today? Well, let me check my breeches for the scores.
This is the best one. we've
Maybe
ever
I
done,
should have
think.
gone to Lambda instead. David,
Yes.
at the end of that round, you have 258,198 points.
That's fucking load of points.
That's usually, I would say, what a landslide victory it would be for you. But sadly, far in the lead, James is pulled ahead with 3,004,796 points. My. By my calculations, that's fucking loads. So sadly, David, you do not win the red pill that means you wake up from the Matrix. You get the brown pill that makes you shit yourself. TTFN, which stands for Treat Trotskyists Fucking Nastily. I have no idea who Trotsky was. I died hundreds of years before he would have been about. But I don't like him because he sounds Russian and frankly Jewish. Bye-bye! Oh, turns out that Robert Walpole was an anti-Semite.
Oh no! I wanted him to say the word landslide again. It was really good.
Landslide! Fuck. Landslide!
Do you think Robert could sing one of our favourite Fleetwood Mac songs, Landslide?
No.
James, do you have an internet account that we can follow?
David, you can find me on.
Do you?
David, you can find me on Encarta. David, you
Of
can
a list
find
of
me.
good boys on Encarta.
Yes. You can find me at James O'Donoghue at Is That James O on Insta and find me in the phone book on James O'Donoghue.
Get your own.
You can find me.
You can find me, James O'Donoghue. Are you somebody pretending to be?
No, it's just tax season's coming up. David, you can
I was
find
about to
me.
say this was quite tight. Just end. Keep going,
disagree.
please.
I would disagree.
Ignore me.
You can find me at Is That James O on Insta and Let the James Begin on TikTok. David, where could people get their grubby little mitts on you?
It's David Hoare. You can find me at David Hoare LOL on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Not Twitter. I'm banned from Twitter.
YouTube.
YouTube.
And
If you'd like to follow the podcast, you can follow at Is This Enough Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and you can please share this with everybody that you know. You can email us. Tell us your favorite round, and also please send in your round topic suggestions. Comment
Absolutely.
underneath. Email us at isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Soylent Green. This has been Seamless Podcasting. James, do you think this has been enough?
I think this has been enough, but I'll tell you who else thinks this has been enough. It's me! And just a little final reminder, register to vote.
Oh, yeah, please register to vote so
Please.
that we can have a non-Robert Walpole leading us.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Imagine if he won. Imagine if you don't get over a certain amount and Robert Walpole gets dug up.
It's resurrected.
And on that horrifying thought, Bob Iger.
Bob Iger.